Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. My name is Noel, the Red Devil, and I am here to discuss the latest breaking news. Manchester United apparently has been sold, according to Sheikh Jassim's father's media newspaper. There are multiple reports out there. We will be showing you some of the things that have been said. Also, the stock exchange reacts to the news, or there was a spike in the shares before all of this became public. So, for anybody that doesn't know, normally what happens is when the stock exchange reacts, they know that something has happened before the public do. Now, I will be showing you some screenshots here from the United Faithful's uh, Twitter account. I've also put the link to everything that I'm showing you in the link description if you want to check it out. By all means, do so. But we will throw up the first photo now on screen for you guys to show you what all of the fuss is about. So hopefully that's up on screen there. We'll just make sure that you guys can see it. So we'll just make that screen a little bit bigger for you there. So breaking, there has been a spike in Manchester United's PLC stocks, which means the New York Stock Exchange has reacted to something they've heard about the takeover. This is coming after the organization owned by Sheikh Jassim's father announced that Qatar had been successful with their bid, and this is the spike that they're actually talking about. There, as you can see, there's the shares that have been going up and down for a while. Under the Glazers, it really has been bad, and as you can see, it started to dip here, and then we get this huge spike, which does indicate that there is some news on the horizon in regards to the takeover. This is no longer. This is no longer. The way we've been hearing from journalists. This has been going on for 7 months, and we've heard a lot of the journalists say that this deal was done months ago. The reality is, it was never done months ago. The Glazers tried to drag this out as much as they could, try get as much money uh, they could possibly get, and also, I think they thought more people would end up wanting to buy Manchester United. But the fact of the matter is, you got Sir Jim and Ineos, um, those two, um, with a bid, and then you got Sheikh Jassim, who put in his bid to buy Manchester United outright, as you know. It's but this is good news because the New York Stock Exchange, uh, you know, it can be very volatile, but when it reacts like this, they know there's something on the horizon or something in regards to the takeover. And a spike like that would suggest that it's good news. So for the fans out there that have been, calling um, for this takeover to happen, for the Qataris, the takeover will be celebrating tonight, um, with the news. Now, of course, it's to be officially confirmed, but as I said, it's very hard to not say that something major has happened, uh, because, as I said, the New York Stock Exchange would not be reacting like that. Um, Now, I've got another screenshot here. I don't know how true this is, and of course, we have to be, we've got to say this, that we don't know how legit this is, but we'll throw it up anyway because I think it is relevant to what's going on tonight. And if this is true, this screenshot actually shows that this deal is done and Manchester United are now in Qatari ownership. And, as I said, a lot of fans will be celebrating tonight. But this tweet has been put up by Zaid Al Hamdan, and he says, "Congratulations, Sheikh Jazin, on his acquisition of Manchester United." And he's even tagged Manchester United in it. So this seems to have some legs, folks. We could well be under Qatari ownership when they make that announcement. Well, we as Manchester United fans hope it's in the next week because the transfer window opens, and um, I will be doing a stream on that. Who Manchester United have been linked to, the type of players we've been linked to, the likes of Jordan Pickford, Mason Mount, and players like that. And I want to seriously talk about it because I think a lot of fans out there are settling, but we will get into that. We will just concentrate on the breaking news, which is Manchester United, according to multiple reports, will be under Qatari ownership, and the Glazers are finally gone. I think we can all definitely agree, anyway, um, that if this is true, then I think fans will be so happy that the Glazers are gone. Listen, for me, especially these last couple of years, I have to say, has been very emotional time supporting this club. Um, we've seen some killer results. We've had some great moments as well. I never forget that PSG performance, Lukaku, and then Rashford getting that banger right at the end, the penalty. I mean, that was great. But for Manchester United fans, we've suffered, and in that time, we've actually seen just recently Manchester City do the treble. This has all happened under the Glazers' watch. They've left the football club, the stadium, go to absolute trash. And, as I said, there'll be a lot of Manchester United fans tonight that will be absolutely over the moon. I will say I'm over the moon that the Glazers are gone, but I've got to be honest with you, and I will get into it in a later video, maybe sometime down the line, and maybe explain it. But I was never a fan of both bids in the first place, and I just got to be honest. But if it happens at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop supporting the team that I've supported for over 40 years. That's not going to stop. Um, and I will cheer these lads on. And it'll be great that finally a Manchester United manager will get the tools to actually build a legacy, um, and create a new era, a winning era for Manchester United. And I think Ten Hag is the man. I wasn't sure about him at first. I got to be honest with you. I was Pochettino. I'm not going to lie, I was in that camp, but he won me over pretty much. Um, Even after the two worst performances that we had at the start of the season, I could see what he was trying to do. And I actually, during pre-season, I thought we played very well. But of course, pre-season never really, you know, fans get excited about pre-season. There's one thing you have to learn about and understand about pre-season. It's not a prelude to what's going to happen in the season. Pre-season, Sancho was tearing it up, if you remember, and then he's done nothing for us since. Now, not that this has any relevance, or maybe it will now if we're under Qatari ownership, but Kylian Mbappe apparently is not going to be extending or enacting the extension onto his contract, which means he would go for free, I think, next year or something. So there may be a possibility now that he could come to Manchester United, but a lot of fans think Real Madrid, which is a possibility as well. Um, so here's another one. So it says, just in, all news received indicates that the success of Sheikh Jassim's acquisition of Manchester United and the announcement of the deal will be very soon. Now we will we will see what happens there. Again, for this to be real for a lot of fans, they will have to see the official announcement. Um, but it will be, I think, a happy moment for a lot of Manchester United fans, or all Manchester United fans, when the Glazers are finally gone, and all the plans. Look, at the end of the day, if Sheikh Jassim does all the things that he said he's going to do, um, and remember that he's bought Manchester United, and that this club has morals and has values, and those morals and values must be respected. And if he does right by the team, does right by the manager, and does right by the fans, then I'll be happy. But the one thing I will say is there's been talks about pulling down Old Trafford. And that's my one big gripe with this whole thing. I don't want them to pull down Old Trafford. They can actually refurbish the stadium, and it'd be worth it. I just don't like the idea of tearing down that old state. It was, remember, at the time, one of the best stadiums in Europe. It needs refurbishment, it needs an extension, but they can do it. So we'll see what happens. But for anybody that does watch this, the breaking news is that Sheikh Jassim's father, media outlet, has announced that his son has successfully bought Manchester United. There was a spike in the New York Stock Exchange before closing, so that would have been before any of the public found out about, or before it was reported. So I would say there's definitely something in this. So stay tuned, Reds. Hopefully, this is the end of the Glazier regime, um, and we can finally look forward to really seriously challenging for the title. Um, for me, a lot of fans out there would be happy with the FA Cup. And don't get me wrong, we were never going to beat City in the FA Cup final, but we gave it a good go. We're miles off. Um, we won a League Cup, and people dismissed that cup. We still won a trophy. We got third in the Premier League. You know, we have had some dodgy results though throughout the season. Our away record's been absolutely terrible. But if Sheikh Jassim is the owner of Manchester United, you know, we will be able to spend that extra little bit of money on the quality that Ten Hag does. Now that Ten Hag wants. Now fans better not get excited about the amount of money that he's going to spend, because to be quite honest with you, there is the what you call it, the fair play rules that you can only, because Manchester United have been making a lot of money over the years, um, and they've been buying a lot of players. Remember, they basically, the Glazers have bankrupted us. So, you know, we'll only be able to bring in a certain amount of players over the next couple of years until the club starts making money. But once that happens, we just bring in quality, you know, that little bit extra quality, and get rid of some of that dead wood. We will be absolutely fine. Um, but don't expect Manchester, and I think Manchester United fans need to get this into their heads. Don't expect Manchester United to go from where they have been right this season, which we're still miles off, by the way. Even though we got third in the Premier League, we're still miles off it, right? So don't expect Manchester United to be, challenging for the title. Even though the manager will say, and the players will say, and the media will say, Manchester United fans have to be smarter than that, right? It's going to be baby steps here, right? But I do believe we will win something again next season. Now, whether that's the FA Cup or whether a possibility of going on a good run in the Champions League, that is not beyond us, by the way. Remember, yes, we played bad against Sevilla, right? We beat Barcelona, and who else did we beat? The Spanish team. What was it? Was it Espanyol? Or whoever it was, we played. We played a lot of teams from Spain, right? But we beat Barcelona. We beat some decent teams. We'll be okay in the Champions League. We will. If we get a decent enough group, we'll be okay in the Champions League. You never know. You never know. But good season for Manchester United is consolidating that top four position. Maybe go one better from third to second and make them more comfortable. Um, but I reckon we're at least 2 seasons away from really challenging for the Premier League. But you never know. We might get one of those seasons where everything clicks and all the players are on top form, and we might do it. But there is exciting times ahead for Manchester United, and us fans. We bloody deserve it anyway. But look, I'll leave it there for the first live stream. And anybody who does watch this, I want to thank you all. Don't do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, please. Give the stream a like as well. I really appreciate it. And I will be back for another stream soon, where obviously if it's made official, obviously we'll come back and we'll stream and we'll talk about that first. But as I said, we will be talking later on then about transfers, players that we're linked to. See, I don't want to do what other Manchester United channels do and keep banging on about transfers every day. So what I'll do is I'll do a stream on it in the next couple of days, and then obviously the transfer window will open up, and then when we actually have some legit news to bring you, basically when it's being confirmed, transfers have been confirmed, we'll come on and we'll discuss it. I'm not going to be doing this clickbaity nonsense that other channels do. We will just talk straight on this channel, and we will give you the news as much as we can when it breaks, of course. Um, so yeah, we will do one stream on this Mason Mount and Jordan Pickford and all of this, because I've got things to say, to be quite honest on that one. But after that, then we will just wait until we see who we get. And there is rumor that Kylian Mbappe I tell you, listen. I'll just end with this. If by some miracle, right, this all turns out to be true, right, and Sheikh Jassim has Manchester United, then why not go for Mbappe? But the problem is, as I said, there's those fair play rules, and I don't think we can spend the money like bringing in Mbappe and then bringing in a goalkeeper, a midfielder, and another centre back. I just don't see it, but Manchester United fans will live the dream. Will live the dream. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Reds. I will talk to you very soon. Have a good one.